Welcome to this week's version of Nickels and Dimes, our weekly video series. Happy 2025. We hope you have a fantastic year. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that I think would be of tremendous value to you. So, by the way, if you find value in this video, go ahead and share it on social media, on Facebook or LinkedIn, or if you get it in an email, go ahead and forward it to a friend. But what's the topic? It's 6 financial tips to review for 2025. So let's jump in and explore. And here are the 6 financial tips for the new year. Number 1, revisit your household budget. Number 2, check your emergency fund. Number 3, tackle your debt. Number 4, make sure you're on track with your goals. Revisit your asset allocation as number 5, and update your estate and insurance plan. So here are my top 6. Now, certainly if you are doing all things well, all 6 of these, continue to do them. This will just be a reminder. Of course, if there are some that is missing, meaning you're doing 4 of the 6, keep doing the 4 well. Sit down, put together an action plan to get the other 2 on track. So let's jump in. On the first one, revisit your household budget. Now, this is very important because a lot of people really don't know what they're spending on a monthly basis. So what do you want to do? This is an Excel spreadsheet. This is something we use for clients so they can get clarity on essentially what their expenses are. So go through a list. Again, what's your housing costs, your transportation costs? If you have pets, what are they costing you a month? Your personal care, eating out, entertainment, debt, we're going to talk about that in a minute, even what your mortgages, your taxes are, and so forth. So go through the budget, sit down. This will probably take you at least 30 to 60 minutes, but it's something that is critically important. What I found in doing this for many years with people, it creates awarenesses on some areas that you might think that you might want to trim. As an example, you might say, I'm spending way too much on this area. I'm either going to reduce or eliminate that expense. So again, number 1, revisit your budget. Number 2, check your emergency fund. I'll keep this simple. There's a simple rule of thumb, and the simple rule of thumb is, and have an emergency fund that is at least 6 to 12 months of your annual living expenses. Now, in my experience, there's really no right or wrong here. Some people like a lot more in their emergency fund. Some people don't need to have as much. So go through your budget, understand what your expenses are. The second part of that is then allocate money to your emergency fund. And if obviously it's short of what you need for 6 to 12 months or whatever you're comfortable with, do your best to allocate funds to that, simply for peace of mind and of course the what ifs in life. Number 3 here, tackle your debt. This is really, really important. Coming into 2025, if you have debt that is not ideal, for example, if you have credit card debt, that, in my opinion, is one of the first things that you should absolutely attack. If you have student loan debt, some people have been out of, for example, law school for 20 years and they still have student loan debt from law school. So tackle your debt, whatever it is. If it's auto loans, if you want to pay off your mortgage, make that a priority going into 2025 and absolutely stay as disciplined as you can. Don't let other things distract you to get you off this focus. Number 4 here, make sure you're on track with your goals. Now you might say, I don't really even know what my goals are. So I'm going to share with you some questions that we often ask folks when we begin our process with them. What do you value most in life? This, again, is going to help you get clarity on what your goals are. What do you ultimately want to achieve in your life? What's your vision for your future? And in my opinion, the best question that I can ask a new prospective client, if you could change, develop, or improve any area of your financial planning or wealth management, what would it be? If you could change, develop, or improve any area of your financial planning or wealth management, what would it be? If you're watching this video, ask yourself that question. It might be 1 or 2 things, or if you don't know, contemplate on it, because this is going to help you get clarity again on what your goals are. And there's a process that we help clients through. It's called a scorecard. There's 10 areas of planning, from integrated wealth management to income security to tax services. So go through a process and rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being this area is not working for you at all, or maybe 10 is things are great. Of course, keep doing that. So you want to get an awareness of where you are and where you want to be, again, to get clarity on what your goals are. Number 5 is revisit your asset allocation. Now, the markets have done well the last couple of years, right? In 2023, the market was up, the S&P that is, was up over 20%. And last year in 2024, the market was up The S&P that is, was over 20% as well. So you might want to revisit your asset allocation, because when equities ran up, meaning they have done that over the last few years, maybe folks' asset allocation got a little out of whack, and maybe you want to rebalance your portfolio to have it all stock portfolio or a mostly stock portfolio to a bond and even alternative investment like private equity or even a hedge strategy. So again, revisit your asset allocation. The markets, again, are near all-time highs. Absolutely do not get complacent. I'm going to highly encourage you to do so. Please stay focused again on your goals and revisit your asset allocation. And the last item on here is to update your estate and insurance plans. Some people create an estate plan like a will or a trust. They retitle assets in the name of that trust, as an example. They shove it in a drawer and they don't look at it for many years. And then many years go by and sometimes your beneficiaries change. Sometimes, for example, you acquire new assets and haven't funded a trust. So that's specifically reviewing your documents, making sure they're up to date to your wishes, and of course, retitling and titling things properly. And of course, that means beneficiary designations. Go through your beneficiary designations and to make sure they are to your wishes. And the last thing on here is insurance planning. Make sure you are fully covered with whatever your protections are, which essentially means, do you have the ideal auto insurance coverage? Do you have the ideal homeowner's insurance coverage? Is your life insurance and disability insurance up to date? And even your long-term care planning. So again, 6 items. Let's review them real quick so you make sure you don't forget. Here they are again. Revisit your household budget, check your emergency fund, tackle your debt, make sure you're on track with your goals, revisit your asset allocation, and certainly update and review your estate and insurance planning. So that was a lot. Hopefully you have a fantastic 2025 and certainly get yourself off to a fantastic start. As I mentioned earlier, if you found value in this video, if you see it on Facebook or LinkedIn, go ahead and share it. Or if you get it in an email, forward it to a friend that you think might be open to a second opinion. We're happy to talk to them. To further that in, here's our website, nicholswealth.com. You can go on our website, check off the click an appointment tab, this here request an appointment tab. Fill out that information. One of our advisors will reach out to you, answer your questions, and hopefully put you in a position to win in 2025. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.